Okay, let's talk about it.
Money, honey.
Let me explain to y'all how my fear of making money is linked to my fear of people taking from me. Not even people taking from me, my fear of over giving. This situation started a while ago. I was with my last partner and I finally started to see how much I was giving. I would cover a lot of things for the home, and in the meanwhile also, if I would go out to lunch with friends or, let's go grab a coffee, I would say, I got it. Don't worry. I got it. Don't worry. I got you. Partially because I wanted them to feel taken care of, right? Because that's what I want for me. I want to feel taken care of. I love it when people buy me things. I love it when people give me money. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's kind of a turn on. I don't know if that's a thing. Like I know that like sidebar. I know that like being a financially doming is a thing, but also like receiving is really hot. So I did it for my loved ones because I wanted it to be done for me, right? Made sense in me noodle. However, there was a shift somewhere in that where it became not just a trait of who I was, but it became a pattern. And even though it could have been worse, it still wasn't great. And so, as my partner and I separated, we were in a lease together, and the leasing manager essentially said, well, one of you can move to your own smaller apartment, but one of you has to stay on the lease. And so I'm in this situation now where my partner doesn't want to take the apartment. I'm wanting to go and, move in with a roommate or anything to save money, but it doesn't happen that way. And so I decide to go ahead and take the apartment. And at that moment, I'm realizing how much I've lost in that sense of, yes, this is a new situation, and yes, this is very exciting, but a lot of our friends were mutual friends, and the excitement that I had in my life was surrounded by this person and that place and that opportunity, and it really really all came to a head when I was in my own studio apartment and I was alone. um it was this moment of really feeling like I had lost a lot of things, because at that same time I was also on unemployment looking for a job, and I didn't get a job until 1 week before my unemployment benefits ran out. Crazy. Um, but what that year really taught me was how I gave so much because I wanted people to love me. I wanted people to think that I had it all together. I wanted people to not worry about me. That was a big priority even when I was younger, is that I didn't want my parents to worry about me. I didn't want to be the one spending the most money. I didn't want that. And that carried with me into adulthood, where now I'm in a situation where I wanted to also make sure my friends didn't worry about me, where my lover didn't worry about me. But with all of that facade came the truth that the building was broken. And so when I didn't have anything, it really, really showed me who really cared about me when I had nothing to give, because I had to be way more strict about who I gave money to, how I spent my money, and also who I gave my time to. And as I am getting ready to work again, there has been a lot of fears that have come up around, well, what if I make a lot of money and then people are going to use me again? Or not even people are going to use me, which I know that is, a side effect of having a butt ton of money. But what would happen if I lost myself again? If I start to make money again, will I just give it all away? Will I give all my time away? Will I give everything that I worked for away again? And so that subconscious belief that sat underneath my nervous system, I believe, has prevented me from making money. Because now currently I'm in a situation where I am working on finding work and working on my financial foundation, really getting clear about why I want the money, what I want money for, how would I use money, why do I feel like I don't or didn't deserve it. And although I'm saying this as though it's so easy to say, this is my third attempt to make this video, so of course you're going to think it's easy. Of course you're going to think this is an easy conversation for me to have with myself and with you. Of course. But it's not easy at all to really face this feeling of knowing where I was, because I'm not proud of it. I really am not. I'm way more proud of, who I am now, but I am saddened still, by the idea that I had to lose it all. I had to lose it all in order for me to really understand what love was. I had to lose it all to really understand how giving doesn't mean I'm a nice person. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm a kind person, but always just giving made me resentful of money, made me resentful of being able to have that time freedom, because I would just give it away all the time. And that's no one's fault, but my own. And so what I've really come to understand is that I had to have that time, because now I know how to establish those boundaries. I know how to say no. And I'm learning how to say, like, hey, you remember when you said you would buy me coffee? Can we uphold that now? And making it more free, making it more fun to establish those types of conversations. But I don't want to be afraid anymore to make money. I don't want to be afraid that I'm not going to uphold my own boundaries. I don't want to be afraid that I'm not going to say no when a motherfucker needs to be told no. I want to be able to do that. And I know that I can, because now that I've seen what happens when I don't have anything, honey, money doesn't fix everything, but it is a tool to help make our lives easier. And so, in a way, this is a love letter for the me that had to deal with not having much, being scared and relying on the food banks. Shout out to our Food banks. Asking parents for money. You know, this is a love letter to that person who opened their arms, who opened their mind, who said, I need help for the first time, probably ever in my adulthood. I never asked for help. Ever! I was so reluctant to asking for help. And so I think that is another part of that version of me that lost so much so I could learn how to ask for help. Now I'm very quick to ask for help. Sometimes I'm a little rusty, you know. Sometimes I'm still like, I don't know, they might not want to hang out. They might be busy, you know. Those things still do come up, but it's a lot less frequent. But it's because this past version of me had to do that work. And if everything was taken so that I would learn that lesson on top of the idea that I can make boundaries, I can say no, I can tell a motherfucker, no, I can't help you. No, I can't cover you for that. Oh, we're going to split the bill? Great. Can we split the bill? Actually, I would feel more comfortable if we split the bill. I'm learning these things. And so I'm so grateful for past years me. What a trooper to have gotten through such a scary time where I wasn't sure when I would get groceries and if I would be able to pay rent. And now that person, I always refer to my old me's as she, which is so funny because I usually use they, them pronouns, you know, as a current human being. But whenever I speak of my past, I always say she. If someone else probably said it, I would be like, that's weird. But when I say it, I don't care. But she was so brave in the face of so much fear and not knowing what was going to happen. She was so brave and she never gave up. And this really is a love letter to her. And if you're in the same shoes, maybe it's a love letter to you. Know that when everything is taken, much is also given. If you look at it in a way that empowers you and serves you, not some toxic positive way around your feelings, not some feeling of like, well, this is all gonna work out for the best and don't worry, I'm struggling because it's gonna be okay. Like, yes, it is, but feel your shit, because I don't think I would have really gotten to the depths of what was sitting underneath my nervous system. It was sitting underneath the depths of my money beliefs if I didn't feel it, if I didn't cry, if I didn't scream, if I didn't go dance in a fucking field, if I didn't just allow myself to be lost. I don't think I would have really understood this concept. And when you feel like everything's been taken away from you, what are you actually getting in return? And what understanding is trying to come to the forefront? For me, that was stop giving everything that you don't have. Ask for help. Not because you absolutely need it or else something bad's gonna happen, but because help is so much easier to acquire even without struggle. I even remember when I was getting used to accepting help. Someone had said, I was like getting out of the car and I was holding 2 water bottles and I could have held both. But they said, do you want me to carry one? And I stopped and I said, Joe, this is an opportunity. And I said, yes. And I skeptically handed it over to them. And they're like, okay. really is the little things that help to work out the big stuff. Because guess what? It started off with, do you want me to carry that one single water bottle, all the way, 9, 10 months down the line. I asked people to help me with my move. I had no money to give them. I didn't even have pizza. I didn't even have beer at the time. I guess it's a moving thing. And people are like, oh, I get a pizza and a beer and for helping move. I couldn't even do that. But I said, I need help. This is exactly what I need help on. I'm going to try and make this as smooth as possible. Doesn't mean I'm going to do everything, but I'm going to label things. I'm going to let you know when we're showing up, when we're going home, what the addresses are. I tried to be as specific as possible to allow people to help me. That is something that water bottle holding would not have been able to do. And so working up past the boundaries that we put on ourselves, because old Joe really wanted people to think that we had it all together. Really, really wanted you all to think I had it all together. So much so that I put myself in so much financial risk. Now, granted, I wasn't taking people on trips to Cabo or anything like that, but my story is a reflection of whoever watches this. And maybe your money story is different, but you are deserving. I promise you, you are so deserving of learning more about why you do what you do with your money and what it means to you. I am so, so, so proud of you that you are deciding to think about it. And to my last year's me, you go, girl. I am so proud of you. I know it's been scary, and I know you didn't know what to do. I know how hard it was to ask for help. I know you thought that everyone was going to take everything from you if you had anything to give, but I promise you, we will never let that happen again. We will not become cold-hearted, but we will not give everything that we've always worked for. We will keep some for ourselves. And if that's selfish, and in its selfishness, we'll find a little bit of safety. We'll find a lot of bit of safety. And once we feel safe again, we will pour back into others. And it's going to be from a more authentic and true, genuine place, and not a place of pretend. No more pretending, okay? No, that's real hot girl shit. All right, cute patooties. Have a great day. And you don't have to give it all away. Your time, your money, your effort. You don't have to give it all away for your existence to be impactful. Okay? Bye.